Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everything this morning?
Doing great.
Great. It is terrific turnaround Tuesday.
Yeah.
It is a turnaround. Tune in, tune up Tuesday.
Okay.
Miss Doris is in the house. Good morning, Miss Patricia. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Good morning. Good to see you, Lady Cynthia Lewis. Listen, this Tuesday came around fast, baby. I don't know what about time. It came around fast. Looked like it was on Supersonic. Y'all remember that song? Supersonic. Hey.
That's when the boxing was out. Boom, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Listen, it came by so fast. I don't know what is going on with this time. I don't know what is going on with this weather because, we up in May and I'm thinking it's supposed to be sun shining and warm and it has been cool the last few days. But I ain't mad at it because, it was something about the rain, something about the little chilly temperature. I mean, you can't get mad at, hey, it is what it is. Since they said it did. For real, for real.
I'm telling you. Nevada is with Las Vegas. Wish they had a little bit of wind, just a little bit of wind,
just a little tinge,
just a tinge. They take a tinge because it is hot as hot can be. I'm telling you, that desert is deserting.
Yeah.
What you say that desert is deserting? Well, listen, let me say this. How was your Mother's Day? A happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers. We said it before, but we want to just wish you all, hopefully you all had a amazing Mother's Day. It carried over. You know what I'm saying? You have a good Mother's Day that's just overflow on you. So you still got that smile every time you look at them flowers or every time you think about, what they happy Mother's Day or a child going through the text messages and DMs and Facebook posts and all of that.
It was so beautiful.
It sure was.
Yes. So it's always hot in Vegas, baby.
Yes, it is.
Always. But I thought
if you going up in there being dry, you gotta be hot in Vegas.
That heat, I mean, it don't matter. The minute you step out the car, you're sweating. You're sweating the minute you step out. The minute you step out the car, you are sweating. Like sweating.
It is crazy.
Listen,
I have went in May before and it was not as hot as it was this year. It was, and even the people there said we got it too early this year.
Right.
Like they was like, we used to have a little bit.
Hey, Sparkle, imagine it. I went in June.
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh yeah, look, yeah. Miss Phyllis said she had a wonderful Mother's Day. Oh, I love it.
That is so awesome.
That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we were blessed with Reverend Pat on Friday. Had a great show, honey. You know what? She dropped some gems. If you did not see it, go back and look at it again because she was on here showing out. So I'm just excited about the platforms that we have bringing on guests because y'all get us, but y'all get us with extra sauce on top. You know how you bring some ice cream and it's your favorite ice cream, but when you get some little extras on top, whether you like nuts or sprinkles or jelly beans or whatever it is you want on top, it just makes it even better. Hot fudge or or caramel sauce or whatever,
whatever your sauce is.
whatever your thing
Yeah,
is.
whatever. Exactly.
On top. That's what Reverend Pat did. That's what our guests do. Cynthia said yes, it was
Yeah.
real good. So I'm excited about that. And we won't stop. Our goal is to bring on people on Fridays, So if y'all know of someone that you think would be really good to come in the morning and share some things, please let us know. Reach out to us so we can connect with them, because I'm telling y'all, we are going to the next level and we want to collaborate, because we talk about women and women relationships, and it's always about women can't get along and it's competition or whatever. We want to dispel all that. We want to make sure
Exactly.
people know collaboration is powerful.
It's the
Collaboration,
key.
honey, is on another level, and that's what we believe in as women and as women of empowerment. You can't be empowering people and not and competing against them at the same time. That doesn't make sense. So
No.
we're not doing
Well,
that.
competition is not a thing. You shouldn't be competing with nobody but yourself.
Shoot.
That's where the competition should come in. You should be going hard to win, because what I tell y'all, make yesterday jealous of today. If you always making yesterday jealous of today, you'll have no other choice but to be going. Like, dang, you showing out today every day. That's what I do.
Exactly. So today I wanted to somebody sent a video. You know how we always sharing stuff, right? And it's always good stuff. Some stuff is crazy stuff. Some things are, empowering and enlightening. Good morning, Pat. And so
Morning.
I wanted to talk about the ripple effect.
Okay.
And how our lives, how you live your life can ripple out to other people. What you do is a ripple. Yeah. You think about how you take a rock or a stone and you throw it in the water and you see it makes those concentric circles go out further and further and further. So that means that you don't know what reach you have.
True.
Who you're impacting, who you're touching, how you're showing up, and how it's affecting other people. You being in a funky mood can mess up somebody else's whole day, and they can take it home. They can take it to their kids. The kids can take it to school, or they can take it to their husband. He can take it to his job. You don't know how you showing up can either take somebody else and impact them positively or jack them up mentally, because we wonder, how do people do what they do? Why do people go in and shoot up schools? Or why do people go in and rob banks? Or why do people? It's the ripple effect and the touch of someone else that impacts you, whether it's positively or negatively. And so, Run Pat, who else was going deep this morning? Run Pat, I listened to the thing. Let me tell you what the lady said. First and foremost, we are birthed to do work here on earth.
Yes.
Whether you use your voice, whether you use your creativity, whether you use, some type of action or your story that you share, whatever you
this
do
is
in
good.
life, it is putting out a ripple effect that is going to impact the world. So when you snatch your kids up and you cuss them out and make them get up in the morning and go to school, that sets their minds to be in a place to where they will go and put that on somebody else. Because you know how they say,
and then because if you look at it, surveys show that bullies are from a reflect of home. Home is all mean and hard on them, or they don't get a voice at home. So when they go to school, they're trying to control other people. It is so true. That is how you send your kids to school.
You don't understand the far-reaching effects of how you can touch somebody else's life. From inspiring somebody to say, you know what, I was going to commit suicide, but because you smiled at me, or because you talked to me, or because I heard your story, I'm just like, you know what, if she can make it, so can I. We have to start understanding being more responsible. So this right here took me out, because what she said, when your soul is louder than your ego and your heartbeat is stronger than your insecurities, you will allow yourself to be seen.
That's
right
good.
there, girl, I'm just like, you know
that
what?
heartbeat,
how you show up matters. It's somebody out here, you may never know who your ripple effect will touch. You would never know how many people you inspire or impact, or how many people you destroy. You know what I'm saying? Do you know how many people go around here and say, "Oh, you ain't gonna be SHIT. Oh, you're not gonna be nothing. Or who gonna want you after I get done with you?"
I mean,
Do
it
you
is
know
real.
how that shifts people and how they show up? You know what I'm saying? And Regina, I think, or Sparkle, I don't know which one of y'all sent it, but it was this guy that was talking about color. And he was talking about when he was growing up, he was a dark chocolate, beautiful man, handsome man. But when he was 8 years old, his parents sent him to go, visit. Maybe it was a family reunion, I believe it was. And he went with his aunt and uncle. And when he got there, he had an aunt that was highly, I guess she was bright, light color, light skin. And she did not like dark colored people, dark colored children. And she didn't want them in her house. So they were all eating. Everybody, he said, everybody was getting pizza. He was excited. He wanted to get his slice of pizza. And she said, "You have to get your, what up out of my house, because you won't be eating in my house. Go on out there with Penny," I think the name of the dog. "But go out there and eat." And so she made him go outside and eat, because the dog was dark. It was a dark black dog. And she had him go out there and eat with the dog.
Oh my God.
So he sat outside on the steps with the dog and ate his pizza and was wondering why nobody checked Aunt Bessie for making him do that.
Yes.
Do you know the ripple effect that could have had on that young man? He could have been somebody who was out here being a mass murderer. He could have been somebody else who was out here degrading light-skinned women because they reminded him of Aunt Bessie. Do you know the ripple effect of your words, your actions, how you show up, what you do? Run Pastor, you were created to do a good work here on earth. Are you showing up for work? And if you are, what are the results?
Yeah, that is
how
so
are
true.
You making a ripple effect out of with good into the world?
Yeah.
Sometimes people feel like I don't matter. You don't matter. But remember when Dr. Carolyn was on here and she said, everybody deserves to be seen. Go and tell some people that I see you.
Right.
That is a ripple effect that can have, I mean, and just think about it, generational impact.
It does.
Oh,
you
that's
think about
definitely real.
if you have a strong grandmother or praying mother, do you know the ripple effect that has on you, your children, your children's children, the people that you connect with at your job? It is such a
keep talking.
Yeah.
It
quick to talk about general curses, but what about generation blessings? Like that blessing of your grandmother being such a strong prayer warrior, that blessed your streamline and continue to bless your streamline.
Exactly. So I wanted to do a couple of talking points. Brother Patrick inspired me with the talking points of showing up as your authentic self, knowing that authentically how God created you to be. If you do it the way He created you, the ripple effect is going to be on a whole nother level. It's your authenticity that is going to make the greatest impact. So we're so caught up trying to see how everybody else doing it. How you doing it? Well, what you do? How you make your cake? Well, what you add in there? See, some people do different things. When I remember in making baked beans, most people, like my baked beans, but one of the things that I added in there was cinnamon because I got that from my sister-in-law. She was like, "I put a little cinnamon." I'm like, "Oh, it takes it to another level for me and my taste buds."
Yes.
Different people can give you different things, but when you're out here looking at what people are doing, figure out and understand and spend some time with yourself and God so that He can download who you are authentically. Because when you are authentic, you give other people permission to be authentic as well. Now you ain't got a baby. You don't have to go out here and do what other girls do. You remember how when you're young, your grandmother, your mama would say, just because everybody else out here having sex, you don't have to do that.
That's
just
right.
because he breaks up with you because he can get with somebody else, that doesn't have to be you. If that's not how you feel in your heart and you don't want to do it, then authentically say no and be okay with that.
And be okay. And you have to teach that, because I remember as a teenager, all my girlfriends was having sex and I wasn't. So I started playing like pretending that I have had sex. And I lied on this guy, and that guy was like, "That girl ain't doing nothing." Like, he called me out, like completely out. But it's just I wish somebody would have said, that's okay for you to be who you are. Like, it's okay that you're not following the crowd. It's okay to be
and don't be peer pressure,
to be different.
Right. That peer pressure really gets them, because you can make a mistake, and that one time that you do it because you don't know and you should have listened, and then you end up pregnant very young. You know what I'm saying? Or have some type of venereal disease that you may not. Come on, you just get loose because you're making a actually adult decision at a young age. So there is consequences, So
or it's not
and
even
those
just
consequences
sex.
are the
It could
ripple
be a
effect.
whole lot of things. You might be the girl that don't do the snapbacking at people just because you hanging around people that have that quick clap back, and you thinking, well, I don't have a clap back, so something wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with you. That is
Nothing's
who
wrong
you
with
are. You be that sweet,
Exactly.
nice person that you are.
Exactly.
Let me say, when you show up as you give others permission to drop the mask and do the same.
Oh,
Authenticity is contagious.
That's true.
Be you, be the leader, or be the person behind the scenes, or be the person who, does whatever it is that God has gifted and graced you to do. Because this is the thing, we all have a grace for our gift. So that means that when you're out here doing something that's none of your business or not in your lane, you're not gifted for that. You don't have grace for that. So you say you go out here and you're doing something, and maybe you say, "Oh, wow, well, they want to do a drag race, and I'm a drag race too." But if you're not gifted to have control with that wheel, like the other people you're racing with, you'll mess around and have an accident or cause somebody else to have an accident, and that ripple effect of you choosing not to be authentic to who you are, but follow in with the crowd can cause so much more damage than you ever thought possible. Remember I said, baby,
You
I
get
be
me hungry.
nutmeg, brown sugar, cayenne pepper, and ground meat. Me too. Don't worry about other people doing the same thing you're assigned to do. Allow God to use that twist that's authentically you to make an impact. Receive that somebody. Rachel said, I have never followed. I have never drank, smoked, or done any drugs. My friends used to talk trash until one day I sat down and said, why should we want to be like everyone else when God made each of us unique? I have always been a leader of my life. Amen.
That's
And I'm
awesome,
telling you
Rachel.
that.
And that is awesome that that's one of her gifts, that
Yes.
she's always been able to show up at, because everybody don't have that special gift.
No.
That is a special anointing that God has given her, because everybody doesn't get to tell Rachel's story.
Exactly.
And that's a blessing. But like her telling that story, it helps people be like, you know what? I don't have to drink if I don't want to either. Like,
thank you. People feel socially pressured. I just saw a episode. Y'all know I love me some General Hospital, so I was looking at the episode of General Hospital.
She's still watching General Hospital.
I don't care. Listen, I'm gonna watch it till the ratings roll off, baby. Yes, I am. Mad because I missed last night. Gonna go watch it again in a minute when we get out. But at any rate, the little boy, they went to his little friend talked him into going to a college party. They were high school students, and the college people was in there drinking, and so they were doing shots. And so his friend that brought him, he was uncomfortable. He was like, "Well, just grab a drink and just hold a cup or whatever, so you can feel and fit in." Well, he went out to play volleyball. The other little boy was stuck there looking crazy. The one that didn't want to go. They talked him in. What you doing, man? Come on over here. And next thing you know, he drinking shots, because you know how they do shots. He felt like he had to fit in, so he started drinking. And when they looked up later, a couple hours later, he was passed out on the beach. He had alcohol poisoning, and they had to take. Oh, thank you. Her pastor said, "Sonny is an icon, baby. Y'all better get on General Hospital. You don't know what you're missing out."
Where do you watch General Hospital at? Oh, okay.
Rachel said she let the pressure make her a dime. Miss Phyllis said, yes, General Hospital. I gotta catch Beyond the Gates. I haven't seen it yet, but I gotta check that out. I think it's a black.
We getting ready to have a General Hospital.
Yes, baby, y'all gonna get it. But at any rate, let me go back. The boy had alcohol poisoning. So you just think, because he was trying to fit in, he was somewhere he didn't want to be. Instead of him standing on business and saying, "No, I don't want to go. I'm not trying to get in trouble with my parents." He fed into what everybody else was doing and wound up could have died. The alcohol poisoning level, I think it's they said 0.4, 4.0 or 0.4, whatever. His was 3.6. Just imagine, or 0.36. Imagine what could have happened had he died. because he tried to fit in. You cannot allow your authenticity to be compromised because you want to fit in so bad.
Yeah.
You got to be able to know what's for you is for you. Real passive, and we be shifting it. Like back and forth. Y'all got to catch up. Beyond the Gates is awesome. Black folks all day. I gotta catch Beyond the Gates, y'all. This is the next thing. We talked about last Tuesday, tilting the room. Your energy shifts environments.
It does.
Authentic presence is magnetic. It carries a vibration that can uplift rooms, soften hardened hearts, and shift heavy atmospheres. People may not remember what you said, but they'll definitely remember how you made them feel. Maya Angelou said that. And realness resonates.
It does. That
Being
it's
real
some people that
is a
you
game
love
changer.
just being around them.
Yes.
It's that aroma that they put off. Like you just love to be in their presence.
That's true.
Because of who they are. You know,
Yes.
it's the same thing about a hug. Everybody don't know how to give a hug. Everybody can't give you a
True.
hug.
True.
But
True.
it is those certain people, when they hug you, it's like everything you was going through is over. Like they have the healing hands of a hug. Like they can hug and change your whole atmosphere.
Baby, do y'all remember like waiting to exhale? It's like when some people hug
Yes.
you, you just like, I just needed that. It feels like I can just release some things that have been on me so that I can get that next, or how you've been working out and doing things, and then you catch that second wind. You know what I'm saying? It's something about
Yeah, that
the
second wind.
authenticity that shifts. It's that second wind, and then okay, I got my breath back now. I feel like I can run again. I feel like I can do it again. I feel like I can go to that next level. Reverend
I'm
Patsy,
telling you,
you
that's
were
what breathing
never
do for
meant.
me.
Yes.
There you
She
go.
said you were never meant to fit in, sisters. We are called to be peculiar. That means we don't
Set
fit in,
apart.
we stand out. Rachel says,
Yes.
I bring up the temperature every time I walk in any room.
Hey,
Rachel,
let's
you
raise
better
the
go ahead
temp.
and say that. Because when you show up authentically, you are touching people's lives, and that ripple effect will go to the next home and the next home and the next home. When you have a teacher, we had two granddaughters that graduated yesterday, and one of the young ladies that gave the speech was saying that when she, and I lost my train of thought, but when anyway, she was talking, and she was talking about how she showed up and how her father had passed. And she was, really hurt that he wasn't there to see her graduate. But she said she looked up and she saw teacher after teacher after teacher after teacher that was there at the funeral. And she said it just did something to her to know that they're not just teaching me in class, in school, just for me to get in and get the education, but they care enough about me to show up for me at my lowest, weakest time, when I'm just like crushed and hurt. Do you know the ripple effect of them showing up for her outside of school is going to do for her in her life, and how she's going to show up for other people who are grieving or going through because somebody showed up for her. That's awesome. It is where we are in life that now, regardless of what age, I want to say as you get older, but it's some 8-year-olds who will stand up to a bully and say, oh no, what you're not to pick on my friend. No, you're not going to do that. It's people who are leaders who go out here and see situations that are chaotic and they bring order. It is a ripple effect that occurs from that, but you got to stand in your strength and not be afraid. You got to be, Moses was a stutterer, but he knew that he was supposed to be, he was set out to set the people of Israel free.
Exactly. He was mandated.
So you got to just trust God.
Yeah. That's just like when you get an opportunity to sit down with your kids and you talk about stuff that you did as they did as a child.
Yeah.
Because Alicia and I was talking, and Alicia has always been a giver. Like that's just who she is. She would come home, and I promise you, she would find the kids that need shoes, need clothes, and come home and be like, Mama, I'm gonna give this to such and such. I'm gonna give this to such and such. And it would be just, and now her as a child, as a adult, she gives gifts. Like her gifts are always gonna be like, wow,
well
that's
thought
what you're
out,
giving.
well put together, like, oh wow.
Because it was a rip, she just kept that on as a child. And I used to be like, okay, Alicia, you can't give another pair of shoes away. And her response would always be like, but I have like 10 pairs. So if I give.
You know what? And the beauty of that is she stayed strong in who she was. Even when you were saying, girl, listen, don't be, she was just like, listen, but
Right.
I'll run past that when Angela Bassett set that stuff on fire and cut that hair, she was stepping into herself, her real self. It's the power of stepping into who you are. Miss Doris is walking the room like you own it. Dorothy had to stand up to the wicked witch, letting her know, I don't fear you anymore. It is the thing that says when you're in
So good.
alignment with your purpose and your true self, you shift the entire atmosphere just by being there. That's purpose. You've got to be aligned with mind, body. Would you say, Regina? Mind, body, and spirit, mind, body, and soul. It all
Goals.
has to be aligned so
Yes.
that you can walk in your authenticity. Because when you and this is the thing, people body shame other people for being too small, too big, too
Yes.
curvy,
That's
too
another
whatever.
thing.
Too dark,
But
too this, too
I mean,
yes,
that's
curly,
another
too.
stop
thing.
being body shame, stop body shaming people because let people be who they are. If
Right.
you feel good about being your size, stop letting people make you feel like you got to lose weight or, oh, I got to gain weight or, oh, I got to build
Right.
muscle
All
or
that.
whatever. All of those things are not who you are. Be authentically you and understand there's power in you. There's power in who you are. There's power in your gifts. There's power in your voice. There's power
There's
in your
power.
story.
Right.
And the power of that is just like the rock that hits the water. It makes it go out. It makes it ripple out. It makes it, it won't stand still. It has
Yep.
to be moved. You are the source that moves things. When you see a ripple, it's because something has shifted that water to where it's ebbing and flowing back and
And
forth.
it keep on going
And
too.
it
It
keeps
never
on going.
stops.
It doesn't stop. That's the power that I want people to understand, the ripple effect that you have as a woman, as a man, as
That's
a
it.
teenager, as an elder, as a young child. It is something about showing up as who you are, but know that you can make somebody or break them.
You
Yeah.
can.
You can heal
You
somebody or
can.
hurt them.
Yes.
You can
You
give somebody
can.
a positive effect or a
Oh,
negative effect.
definitely.
Yep.
But you know what the outcome of that is they don't understand when you try when your words damage someone in a way that affects them. That is not unnoted. God sees all, knows all. So when something occurs to your own life or to your own family's life, don't be surprised. That didn't go unforgotten.
Right.
We want to just we got to keep it real because if there's damage over here that you did, what do you think that you're receiving?
Yeah.
What did you plant? What seed did you plant?
Mm-hmm.
So what do
Mm-hmm.
you
Yep.
okay, so what's the so their seed may not it penetrated them, but they made it. They rose, they're
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
standing, they got a sound
Mm-hmm.
mind. Where your life is now maybe afflicted with diseases,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
torments. Then the next
Mm-hmm.
seed that you have, they have issues. You see what I'm saying? So they
Yep.
it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't get it doesn't there is a price to pay. So be very careful with your words
Yep.
because there's life and death in the tongue.
Yes. What did Tabitha Brown say? Don't come over here and don't come over here messing up somebody
And don't
else's.
you dare go messing up somebody else's day, baby.
Right?
Listen, don't you
I'm
do it.
like, that
Because
is so true. Don't come over here and mess it
don't
up.
come over here messing me up because you don't have yourself together. Somebody's always watching you. Somebody's always learning from you. Somebody's always growing from your example. And you have to be
Yes.
cognizant of that. We go around and think that just because you're having a bad day, well, or people say, well, honey, God knows my heart. He does know your heart. But the people that are receive the repercussions of your actions don't really know your heart. Some people can see you acting a straight donkey
Yeah.
and get offended, you know what I'm saying? Because of what you said or what you've done. Run past it, it's called reaping what you sow.
Right.
Because you don't realize that just because you've kind of healed and moved on, the
Right.
damage that you've done to somebody else can
Right.
still be lingering.
Yep.
They may still be living in hell because of how you treated them as a
Exactly.
child. And
It's
just because you went on
yes.
and got healed, you don't know how they're terrorizing. Because you know how everybody be like, not my little Johnny, not my little Mary, not my little Susie.
Yeah, your little
No,
Mary. Your
yes,
little Mary.
yes. They out here demonizing and traumatizing other people
Yeah.
because you weren't in a good space. And a lot of times we want to sugarcoat how we act When sometimes we need, like, Bessie needed her behind whoop for making that boy go out there and eat that pizza with the little
She
dog.
needed
all of it.
and somebody should have stopped that,
Somebody should have
because
checked.
how many other
So she
people
was
has
bullying
she
and
damaged?
all of it. She was bullying all of them. They feared her too.
Exactly.
In some way, it just because
Yep.
she chose that, there was other things that she was picking on them too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But most of the time she's over there mad about something, like that's another that's an inner thing. She's mad at something somebody else had done to her. So now
she got a lot of
taking
hate.
it out on others.
It does. Run past said when you say he does know your heart, and that's what he's trying to fix. He wants you to have.
Because people will be quick to be like, God knows my heart though. No, your heart is ugly. So don't be sitting up like people quick to use God's word.
Yeah.
They will use God's word to make
they
an
hide
excuse.
behind it, Spiker.
Yes.
Sparkle, they hide behind it.
They
you know
do.
What I'm saying? It's easy for them to be masks, you know what I'm saying? But if people who are really close to them really know, and then the ones from the distance that think they're just all righteous and holy and all that.
I'm telling you, Angela, you have made me have to repent, because yesterday I was in Dollar Tree and I just didn't feel like being bothered. Well, Tom kept on wanting to talk to me, and I didn't want to talk to Tom. I just didn't. But now I have to repent of, like, if some situations is brought up, then I gotta repent that you, just because you didn't feel like it because you were sleepy, now you got attitude.
You don't want to be bothered. But just imagine if you were in the situation, want to talk, and somebody shut you down, or somebody
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And Rachel said, I remind individuals that when people have a low vibration, that either I raise it or leave their space.
There you
when
go.
Pastor is talking about, you don't know why Johnny and Mary act like that, and they are out there repeating what they saw at home.
Mm-hmm.
When you operate from your true self, you attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right resources meant for you, not your representative.
Oh, that's so good.
Let that marinate. You want to get what's meant for you authentically.
Yes.
When you show up as your representative, what you get is for what you created, which is not really you. So you go out here and do some things that you're not graced to do. It's a lot of people that go out here and have premarital sex, and they out here wilding out at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, whatever.
That's true.
You may be out here having sex, and you've been graced for that to not get pregnant. Somebody else may get pregnant. You don't know. Somebody else, you great. Somebody else is going to the club all the time, and you go and it's a shootout, and you catch a stray bullet.
Yeah.
You got to think about when you're not supposed to be places, when you're not supposed to do things. It's a ripple effect that can occur that can mess up you or generations behind you.
Right.
That is so true.
Be responsible. Listen, Miss Phyllis said it's time to get up out of here. Tune in to Reverend Pat for the daily devotional coming up, because I'm telling y'all, she is on fire.
Yes,
everything that comes out of her mouth has been just anointed and blessed, and it will help you in your life. It's a ripple effect that will keep you being in a better space. Keep you being in a better mindset, because God has called us and chosen us, and it's time for us to walk in how he created us, not in what we think we should do, but in who we actually are, because that's where you're the most comfortable, when you're being you. So
now look, let's walk out here and show the world who God is through our actions, through our smile, through who we are. I believe God. Do you believe God? We believe God. We believe God. Have a blessed day, and we will see you on Winning Wednesday.
Bye.